So, hey everyone, my name is Juanita, and this is, well, now my second blab. The first one wasn't a really great success, and giving it a go. I think I am officially the first New Zealander on blab, which is really cool. And it is Saturday morning here, so it's around about 11:15 Saturday morning. And I have the beautiful Samantha Collier, and she is the founder and owner of Social Media for Lawyers, and she hails from Vancouver. Yay.
Yep.
So, of course, my favorite accent, I have to tell you, the Canadian accent.
Your accent. I love your accent. Like, it sounds so cool. I always worry that Canadians, we sound stupid.
No way. No way. It's my favorite accent, honestly.
Really?
So, yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. So, Samantha, you know what? I train a lot of people, and I have a lot of people asking me questions about copyright law. And sometimes even in my own head, because they're so convincing, I kind of get a little bit confused and I go, is that, is it or isn't it? So there's a few questions I'd like to ask you. And the first one, let's start with videos and YouTube. So in terms of YouTube videos, I often get asked by people, and they've learned this from other internet gurus and experts. But I often get asked the question of, if I download a video from YouTube and I change the video in some way, shape, or form, and they've been told in some instances, if you change it by more than 25%, then it doesn't violate copyright law anymore. In fact, then it becomes your video. Now, is that true or not?
So first, I'll tell you a little bit of my background.
Great, thank you.
So I don't want someone, to take my advice and actually use it and then blame me down the line. However, I did work for a Canadian IP firm called MBM Intellectual Property Law for 7 years in their marketing department.
Right.
So I worked very closely with, 20 lawyers about copyright. And cool. I saw cases go through, court and litigation. And I do think there's a lot of false information out there. And I think for a lot of time you could kind of play stupid and just, take photos, and which I did do once, and I got fined. I actually took a photo for a client's blog, and they got fined. Yeah, they got fined $800, but I paid it. But it was Getty Images, I believe, because they can reverse search images now on Google. You can Google reverse image search, and then you can upload the image, and Google will tell you everywhere where that image is. So it's very easy for people to find out if you're using their images. And you cannot, as far as I know, there is no way you can use a video on YouTube unless it is marked as having a Creative Commons license. So when you upload a video to YouTube, I think by default, it's not Creative Commons, but in the advanced settings, you can actually mark it as Creative Commons. And then the way you'll know this very easily is when you look at the video on the screen, if under the, sharing sort of section, there'll be a place where you can download the video. Right. If you can download the video, then it has a Creative Commons license.
Okay.
But I wouldn't even say for sure that you could use that for business purposes. I would look into it further to see. You may be able to download it and use it for something, but I would look into it further to see if you could actually use it for business. Yeah. But you absolutely can't use any YouTube video for your own. That's 100% copyright violation. You could be sued. Depending on the company, you could be sued for a lot of money. People pay a lot of money to copyright. Well, you have copyright just by creating something on your own. Yes. But if someone decided to sue you for it and they lost money because of it, or someone, they could sue you for I know IP litigation is millions of dollars, and I would never take the chance of doing it. You can embed a YouTube video. So I have a client that blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a client that blogs, and on every blog, he wants to have a YouTube video at the end, relevant to the topic. And
Right.
I YouTube, and you have the ability to embed the blog on your blog. So in the post,
the video on your blog.
Yeah. In your blog post, say on WordPress, there's a little bit of code you can get from YouTube, which will actually embed that video onto your blog post. And that's okay, because that's basically saying to the people looking at the blog post that video is from somewhere else.
Yes.
So that is 100% fine, because you're not saying it's your own.
And of course,
but I would say you can't just put different videos together or change a little bit and it to be okay.
So, and of course, I mean, that's what we want people to do in social media. We want them to be sharing our videos. We want them to be, you know.
I love it when people share. I just made a little video about how to create a LinkedIn profile picture. I was going to do the whole profile, but then I realized there's so many steps for just a picture. I just did a little one.
And you've shared that.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because it puts my brand out there.
But now let's take that. And so just so we can clarify. So let's take that. And let's say you took that video and you went into advanced settings and you clicked Creative Commons. And I then went to that video and I could then download it and I could use it. So I could use it, but not for commercial gain, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that. I hope that one of the lawyers I talked to actually can join in, because a few of them are supposed to come in here. But I would have questions and I would look it up to see if you can actually use it for business purposes.
I did a bit of research on it. I did do a bit of research on it, and there was a lawyer online, and he, Marcello Halpern, and he is basically, his words were very much where you're talking about things like, what do they call it? I'll let you know now. Fair use. So he talks about fair use.
I'm going to open my computer for a second and turn the volume off, so you might hear a little sound, because I'm trying to see if maybe someone's trying to talk to me at the same time to come in.
Oh, okay. Well, let's have a look and see if nobody is trying to come in at the moment.
I'm going to turn it off my computer so that I don't double try and come in at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
I'm just seeing anyone copyright.
Yeah. So this Marcello talks about fair use, and he talks very much about, you know, you could probably get away with some things if, for example, you were just using it, you know, in like kind of everyday use, and it was more personal. But the minute it becomes commercial or you're using it for business use, that is when you're kind of crossing the line, and you've really got to be careful of that. You've really got to be careful of how you're using it. Yeah.
I would never, ever, ever personally, I mean, maybe it's from working with lawyers, but I would never use any bit of anyone else's video to do it. Even if they told me it was okay,
yeah,
I probably still would not use someone else's video for that.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, if you've got, because obviously we've seen quite a few situations where people have been fined for videos, and
quite a lot.
Yeah, and some quite public cases. So I'm just going to reiterate what you've said, more for everybody out there. It's like, don't go and take somebody else's video unless it's Commons, copyright, and then even then Creative Commons, and even then don't use it for commercial use. But definitely don't go download somebody else's video, go change it, add bits and pieces to it, and then use it for your own purposes. Now, let me just ask you a question on that, because there are some videos, and they are like really hilarious, and they get a lot of hits where somebody is kind of ripping off another person, you know. So they take a piece of the video and then they go, oh, you know what, this person is so dumb because they said this kind of a thing, and then they have a clip of the video, and it isn't it's more about them talking. So I'd say probably the video is about 80% of them talking about some other pieces of videos. What do you feel about that?
Well, you know, it reminds me of news places that will, you know, like TMZ or somewhere,
Yeah.
they'll always put together different things. And I don't know if they might have agreements, you know, with Getty or with whoever that they can use part of the video. Mm-hmm. Again, that would be a question for a lawyer, but I would say they could either contact the person who had the video, right, and see if they can use it, or I mean, sometimes a video is used so often, so much everywhere, yeah, that no one is really going to try and sue you for it. Yeah. So it's sort of, you know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But as a business person, I would never take the risk. No. I was Googling to see how they do that. But for us as social media marketers, yes, and us teaching our clients, I probably wouldn't tell them to do that. I would tell them to really honestly invest the money in creating their own videos.
Their own videos, absolutely. And I think you've hit the nail on the head here, because I think if you're doing anything for commercial purposes, your sound is okay. If you're doing, okay. You just move it.
Sorry, I have you propped up against a blanket. It's kind of falling.
It's making like a really fuzzy sound. There we go. Okay. If you're doing anything for commercial purposes, then the best thing to do is to make sure that you're creating your own content. That create your own videos and be original with it. Don't go grabbing other people. But if you have to, and it's not Creative Commons, definitely share other people's videos, give them credit, share it correctly, share it on blogs, share it in, you know, Facebook pages and things like that.
Embed the video. I would say embed videos as much as you can. I would love it if someone put my video on their blog. I think
absolutely. That's the whole point of it, isn't it? The whole point of social media is to share, but it's not for you to take somebody else's video, download it, and then put it onto your YouTube channel and use it. Because and so guys that are just jumping on, even changing a video by 25%, because a lot of people say that
rule as well, like you could modify it a certain, and it might be right for some things, but I wouldn't take it.
I've done a bit of a checkup with a few people on it, legal people, and it isn't correct. You know, if somebody finds out that their pieces of their video still, because remember, it's still there. We talk about copyright law. And so, Sherry's going to jump in here. So, Sherry, let's grab Sherry on here.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Someone just...
Welcome.
Hi. Let me turn you up here. There
we go.
This is so cool.
This is very cool. Okay, so.
There we go.
Oh, yay.
I can hear you better now. Hi, ladies. Hi, Juanita. Hi, Samantha.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you this Friday?
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, this is Saturday here in New Zealand. Saturday morning.
I'm here in California. I'm in South Orange County, California. So
fabulous.
So we're on the
West Coast. It's about 5:05 it's about 4 o'clock. It's almost 4 o'clock here.
It's nearly 11 o'clock in the morning here in New Zealand, Saturday morning, and Sam is in Vancouver. So isn't this awesome? We're all over the world.
Crossing borders. We're crossing across borders. I love it. So first of all, I thank you so much for having this blab.
Thank you.
And, let me give you just a little background on myself. I'm a volunteer DJ at a college jazz station here in Mission Viejo.
Yes.
And I just joined Blab about, I think, something like 12 or 14 days ago. It hasn't been long. And I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate Blab into the radio station and reaching out to a younger audience, or as I've now found out, they're called millennials, and interest them into jazz and everything. Because, you know, jazz is that genre of music that always stays in the background.
Yeah.
Even though they have their own footing, it's just like you just don't hear a lot of jazz, you know, as much as you hear rock and roll and soul and funk and country and genres like that. So Blab came up, and so I'm thinking, okay, we can interview artists, and, you know, they can interact with their fans right then and there. But at the same time, I'm wondering, can I play their music in the background as I have, you know, other live Blabs? If I'm talking about, say, like a George Benson, who happens to be performing tonight in Newport Beach.
That's a very good question.
That is a very, very good question. Yeah. Obviously, that's getting recorded. So when you're playing that kind of music in the background, the Blab is getting recorded with that music right in the background, right? Okay. That is a great question. Sam, how would you?
You know what? I don't know about that, because that's just, you know what, it reminds me of when you're like in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, if you're listening to music.
Kind of playing in the background, right?
Yeah. And then if you took a picture or you were recording it, I think there must be some rule. Oops, hold on.
Well, I do know this. I do know that obviously from a copyright law, in terms of music on actual YouTube videos, you can't. So you cannot just take any copyright music and put it onto the back of your videos on YouTube. And so you would have to check that out. I mean, you would have to check whether the music is copyright or not. But are you saying, Sherry, that these artists, you're actually interviewing them and they're playing, their music is playing in the background, or?
Correct. Or any artist. Like if I come on here and let's say, for instance, even though George Benson is performing tonight, I'm not interviewing him on Blab. But what I'm saying is, if I came on Blab and I wanted to talk about him performing tonight, and people jump in on the Blab, and I have his music playing in the background, am I under a copyright law for that?
Yeah, that's a great question, because and I'm not a lawyer, so you know,
I to answer this. It may just not happen right now, but I can 100% get you the answer by tomorrow if there's not a lawyer now.
Okay, and then another question is
Julie, just in terms of that, I mean, look, I'm looking at it from the perspective of what are you doing for George Benson, right? Because you're promoting his concert for him. So you're sitting there and you're promoting that concert for him, and you're getting people to go to his concert. I know for me, if I was a singer and you had to personally do that and you were promoting my concert and playing my music in the background, I would be so stoked about it.
Some people might take it that you're using him to get yourself more business.
That's a different perspective.
I thought about that as well. Yeah,
they may want you to pay,
and say I'm not getting paid, and I'm not selling anything to use. You know, as far as using his music to self-promote myself or anything. I'm just coming on here and I'm saying, hey, you know, if you're in the South Orange County area, George Benson is performing, you know, at the Hyatt, blah 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 blah.
Probably okay. You know what? My gut would be that you're not using it to buy something, and that it's like there must be a rule about music that's just playing somewhere.
Exactly.
Then I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't. I would, as a lawyer as someone who's worked with lawyers, I would want to look up precedents of cases to see if this has ever happened before. But I would 95% say that could not happen. I think that you should be totally fine.
Should be fine. Okay, and then another question is, or another situation, same thing, you know, we go to jazz concerts here, and I was using Ustream, and I was streaming the video through my phone.
Right.
And so then I felt bad, you know, because my followers on Ustream, they were, you know, watching my live stream from Ustream. And then I said to my husband, I said, I'm wondering if I'm illegally passing on their concert. even though I'm not selling it or anything.
They say that. I just went to One Direction with my 7-year-old daughter, and there was a big sign that said, "Don't videotape anything."
Well, I wasn't videotaping. I was just streaming it live.
Don't use your camera. Like, don't do anything. Like, don't show this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think unless it was like explicitly said not to do it, I would say that you'd be okay.
Well, I felt bad. I take that back. Ustream did have the option to where you could record it. It would save it under your profile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I never took it from that profile and put it out on the internet. It's just so that I can always go back and I could, reference that recording.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, my inner self said, I think I'm doing something illegal here because now people are not spending the money to go to the concert because I put on my blog that I was going to Ustream it, go to my channel, but I only did it like 3 minutes at a time. I did not do the whole song. I did not do the whole concert. I just did snippets of it. But even that,
and I did Instagram videos of the One Direction concert.
Yeah.
Like I took little shots and shared it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I mean, personally, I think if you're at a concert and you've got your phone up and you're videoing the whole concert like through the night and you said through Ustream and that whole concert is going, I actually think that is wrong because you're sharing that whole concert with people, that should be paying or could be coming. However, I mean, I could be in New Zealand and wanting to look at that concert, so it's really great for me. But personally, I really don't see anything wrong with like the snippets because for me that's promotion again. You're really promoting them as long as you're tagging pages in from the pages. So if whoever the concert was, you're tagging them in, you're showing them that you've got the pieces or snippets of the video. And I completely agree with Sam. You've got to look around. If they say no video, like don't take video at all. Photos then should be fine. And I would still be tagging them in or tweeting.
Napster back in the day when you could download everything, and then it was like, was it Metallica that went all crazy? It was like, no, you can't do it. So I think that I don't think there's probably been any case about this, like about someone suing someone, because I think that it happens so frequently.
And I think artists want it to happen. I think, again, as I said, I do think that there's a difference between taking your video out and videoing the whole concert,
Like a movie. When you go see a movie, you can't tape it, right?
Right.
Same thing, right?
Right.
But if you're taking those snippets and going, I really love this song, it's one of my favorite. I mean, you look at the stream anyway, it's not that great. A video with you standing something at the back with everybody screaming in front of you.
Yeah, it's all fuzzy and everything. You just know there are bodies up there.
That might even be your copyrighted video,
Correct, yes. I was going to say, because if you took that video, then it becomes your copyright.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It becomes like someone violating your copyright if you're violating their copyright.
This is an interesting thing because I run conferences, right? And I have speakers that come through the conferences. Now, I pay a videographer to take videos of the conference. And the videographer is an absolutely amazing person who explained to me that if he takes the video of the conference, even though I'm paying him and even though it's on my behalf, unless he signs a document to say that the video belongs to me, it actually belongs to him.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Always the person that makes it, no matter what, it's their copyright.
Yeah.
It's something that you get automatically.
Even though I've paid for that video. So you do need to sign a contract to say that the video, the ownership changes hands from one person to the other. And be sure to do that because that was something that totally blew me away. I believe paying for it was mine, and
that is amazing.
You can create anything, art, writing, music, anything, writing. It's copyrighted. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to do anything.
So then I also have a blog talk radio show where I talk about jazz.
Yeah.
And I decided to play just like snippets of music of the artists that were coming to perform for the weekend and everything, because it's all about promoting the jazz and keeping it out in the forefront.
Yeah.
And again, it's just snippets. I give them the name of the song, and then I would just play like maybe 20, 25 seconds of it, not even a whole 30 seconds, because I was so concerned about copyright, not having their permission to put it on my show. But now I'm sitting here thinking, well, I bought the CD. I could, if I wanted to record it onto a cassette or, put it on my hard drive, that's my prerogative to do that because I made the initial investment in the CD. But now if I want to play a snippet of it and put it on my blog or do my blog radio show, and people are tuning in and I'm playing it in the background, am I infringing on their copyright?
You know who would answer this? I can see he's here, and I don't know if he can join in, but it's Kevin.
Oh,
O'Keefe.
wonderful, Kevin! If you can join that, or if Kevin can type in, so you don't have to join Kevin, but if you want to type it,
he's a copyright lawyer,
that's okay.
But he has been a lawyer and works in legal marketing.
I will answer a little bit about. Just a few things that I know about that. I think what you're talking about here is fair use of the music, and
that I purchased.
Yes, that you purchased, and fair use of anything. The thing is, you purchased the music in a personal capacity, and I think anything that you're doing for commercial, you really have to be careful and get permission. So, and Kevin, if you think that I'm saying anything wrong about this, please just type in the chat bar there.
But he's seeing this. He might have it on and he's somewhere
else. That's okay. But I think this is about fair use, and I think that sometimes is a difficulty because you talk about fair use. But absolutely, Sherry, what you're doing, like me personally, I would get permission. It doesn't matter if I bought the CD, because whenever you're buying that, you're buying it in a personal capacity to use at home. I know that you can't, I know for a fact, if I want to show a CD or a video at one of my training rooms or in a big conference, I have to get permission for that. I can't just use it. And I think the same for you. So it is the guys that you're getting on. You said they're your jazz singers. They're coming on. Just get permission from them. Just say, hey, is it okay to do this as part of the promotion, and get it in writing.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, actually, common sense should kick in. If you're feeling it on the inside that it doesn't feel right, then just don't do it.
Yeah, and you've said that so many times. I didn't feel right. It didn't. Yeah, and I think that go with your gut. Like if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it.
As much fun as I was having, streaming it and everything, because I'm sitting here, I'm going, oh man, this is great technology that people who wish could be here can't be here, but I'm giving them, an insight look of what's happening for about 3 minutes. It's like, wow, I feel like I just made their day, because if I'm on the other end of that, I'm going, this is great, But then when it was all said and done, it just didn't feel right. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I did something illegal by, posting, streaming that live.
If anybody's on here, and Sam, like this could be something for you, but this is a real opportunity. Like it's a real opportunity for somebody to create some education programs for people around all of this, right? I might even grab it and take it on.
Someone could make some good money doing this.
Yeah. really. It's a little niche market, and to create some of these things.
Well, it would make good blog posts, that's for sure. I just asked someone now, Nancy, Maryland, and she said that she's at a baseball game. Otherwise, she totally would be here.
Oh, cool.
But, okay. I'm trying my best. I'm posting it out on every network I have to join.
Sam, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Probably my luck. No one will come because that's just the way it always works for me. I have a question for you though about this Blab thing.
Yeah.
I can see these little hand things with a bunch of numbers.
Yes.
I have one, and I think when
there we go.
You have 107.
Oh, there we go. And I've just popped a whole lot on for you too, and somebody else did.
But it's from people.
It's just people that are saying that they really love what you're doing. No. You have now you have 45, 49.
But is that all from you?
And then somebody's just going absolutely nuts. And no,
I forget to do it. I forget to do it.
Because my ego here is,
we're exposed out there.
Listen, I got the 121 quite fair and square, man. But it's kind of like Periscope. It's kind of like the Periscope stuff with the hearts. When you're ticking the screen and all these hearts are going crazy. And listen, there's a dude there that's just going, Justin, you need to thank Just in the South. Just in the South.
Friend. Tell Justin to join.
Is it your friend?
Justin, join.
Yes, Justin in the South. He's here. Hi, is it Justin?
Join.
He's just knocked you with so many of those hands. So he's called you right up to.
Justin will give me like 500 hands, but Justin needs to come online.
Justin, if you Justin,
really well.
Jump in a seat for us, and
I'm Facebooking him as we speak.
Well, he is here, and he said hello all, so that's fantastic. And
I'm going to force him to come online.
Sherry, it's so great having you here as well. What an amazing personality!
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and.
This is so perfect because I was wondering, you have to know where the line is, and with so much information available on the internet, you really just don't know where you're crossing the line legally. And
so I think like just some really common points, and Sam's brought these up, and you may not have been on the call earlier, Sherry, but just some common things. So anything that you're doing for commercial use, make sure that you are, creating your own things or getting permission if you are going to be using anything for commercial use. So anything where you're making money online, and it doesn't have to be commercial necessarily, because with YouTube, I mean, if you've got a channel that's got hundreds of thousands of followers, I mean, you could be making money off that. And popping somebody else's stuff on there. Now, this is really intriguing because I do have to say, I know of a YouTuber, and she actually charges people to put their videos on her channel. So she charges like $25,000 for you to put your video onto her channel. Yeah, because of the amount of followers that she has. So she coins, and she makes money by doing that. But remember, then that's your original video that you're putting onto her channel, and that is like for her. She's making that money. Like she makes a heap of money by doing that.
So that means you, as the original video maker, you're giving your rights to that video for her to put it on her channel. To make money off of it.
Correct. So remember, because somebody with 1 million viewers on their channel, and if you only have, say, 1,000 viewers, it's worth your while, because they are following that person, and they're following that person quite religiously, which means that you're going to get at least a good amount of views that you would never have got for your video. That's the reason why you end up paying them for that as well. But yes, I would assume in some legal way you're kind of
giving up your rights to it,
to pop it on the channel. I'm not 100% sure how that actually works, but it'd be interesting to find out. Gosh, Sam, there's so much that we can write blogs about here. Awesome stuff. Now, Justin, is there anything you want to add, like, to everything that we're saying?
I think that if you told him to do it, then I think that it must be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about. So let's just switch over.
I'm getting some feedback. I don't know if anyone else is, but I can't really hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay now? Sherry, can you hear me fine? Sherry?
I can't really hear you.
I hear you fine.
If you can still hear me, I can't still really hear you.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me now?
Fine.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better.
Oh, we just lost her picture.
But it's kind of frozen.
Well, we've lost your picture, Sam. So we've lost you.
Blab's been having problems all day today. A lot of people had the.
It's okay. I just can't hear you guys. I can.
I think Blab is changing their user interface, and because a lot of the Blab channels were having a lot of issues of either the video would go away, but the sound is still there, and then they had to refresh to get back on. Right. So and that's been an issue all for the last couple of days.
Well, you know what, Sam, we can still hear you. So let's have a conversation about photos, because and a lot of people weren't on the call when we started out, and you spoke about photos, and because again, I have so many people that go around and they say, well, I can just take photos off the net. Now, I know that you definitely cannot just take any photos off the net, but this is a bit of an ignorance. So you mentioned, Sam, can you talk? Oh, she's gone completely now. Okay. So let's just get this right. Guys, if you're on here, you cannot just take and pick photos off the net. And you do need to pay for licensed photos. And so if you type in Google, you can type in the word, so flower, and then licensed photo, so licensed. And that way you should be able to find licensed photos. And of course, I mean, you can go to sites where it says free photos and things like that, because I would assume that in those sites they are giving you free reign over their photos. So you can take the photos and use them for whatever you need to. But always, if anything has been used for commercial use, always go and pay for it. Always go and get the photos, or do your own original ones. Take photos. I walk around with my camera everywhere, and I take photos of everything. I think people think I'm crazy. I take photos of the flowers, the dogs, the files. So then I've got this huge repository of photos that I can go into. I can say they're mine. I did them, I took the photos. But I know a lot of people don't, and I know it's difficult for people, Mm-hmm. Sherry, what do you think?
Oh, I guess I come from the whole mindset of like, if it's coming from me, then it's mine, you know, and so I own it. And it's, if anyone wants to use, say, like a picture or something that I took and everything, and they get credit for it, then I guess a part of you wants that credit as well. You don't want them to have all the kudos for it. Yeah. But if I gave it to you and I say, here, you do with it whatever you want, it's yours, I no longer have any rights to that.
Well, I think that's that's part of something like the Creative Commons, like you're sharing, well, if you're giving rights to somebody else here, but I think you can also, allow things to be shared. So for example, we wrote a big document on social media. It's an A3 document, social media digital marketing, and it puts everything onto an A3 document. It's amazing. So you can see the whole digital marketing, but at the bottom, we've put Creative Commons. Mm-hmm. Yes. So Justin is saying here, if you use a Getty image without buying it, you will get a bill and a cease and desist letter. So definitely, I mean, and Justin, I completely agree with you on that, because so many people just go around the net and they'll pick up photos and they don't even, bother to really check whether they are actually belong to companies like Getty or stock photos or anything like that. And he said a huge bill. Like it would be an absolutely huge bill.
You got to mortgage your house.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm going to come and hunt all of you down if I have to mortgage my house because I've done something bad. I hope not, though. I mean, and try as much as possible. But you know what I do want to ask? And Justin, if you can help out with it, and Sam, if you could help out with it. when you're working for a client and you're paying for the photo for a particular client, like you've got the photo and you're using it on a client blog or a client site, the photo has been bought. Let's say you then, or let's say you then use that, you personally then use that photo somewhere else. What happens then? Like, is that possible? Can you only use the photo once? Like, what is it? Okay, here we go. I've got Marcus here, and Marcus is joining us. Hey, Marcus. Sam, I can't hear you. Sherry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can hear everyone.
Marcus. Hey, cool. Hey, Marcus, thank you for joining us. We're talking about copyright law and on videos and
yeah, I do YouTube stuff. Yeah, so you have to be careful. There's lots of sites though that you can go to that gives you that free music. So you just have to look around.
Yeah. So you're talking about the free music on the.
Yes. There's been sounds is a good
Marcus?
one. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. There's quite a few.
I can kind of hear you.
Sorry, now. Now.
Something's happened on my side here.
I think it might be you that's going in and out. But I can hear everyone else.
Okay, I can hear Sherry fine. I can't hear Sam anymore. And Marcus.
Can you hear me?
I can read your lips.
Sherry, can't you? It must be. I'd say it's.
I heard you
internet.
perfectly when you came on. I heard you absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, it must be your internet. It's your internet, I think.
That must be my headset. Let me just.
If you refresh,
I'm pulling this out and going in again.
No, but there's been sounds is a good one to go to. That's got some nice music for videos, and you can use all those. There's quite a few sites you can go to for music. Hey, Colin,
this is intriguing. Sorry, Marcus. Yeah. I can't hear you. Can you guys?
If you can refresh out, come back in. Does she know that?
Sorry, no. Marcus, do you want to go out and come back in again and let's see?
It's not me.
Do you mind? Jump back out and come back in again. Oh, sorry, Sherry. I don't know what's happened there.
That's okay. It's been happening all day on Blab, off and on. Lots of channels were having the problem. I think they're changing their interface.
So it's that for the day, right?
Justin can hear us fine.
Yes. Justin, could you hear Marcus when he was talking?
I can hear you, Marcus.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now?
I couldn't hear him. I heard him straight. I mean, I heard him, and then I didn't hear him. I'd love to hear what he's got to say about.
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
Because he does a lot on YouTube, so I'd love to hear what he's got to say about that.
Can you hear me now?
She can't.
I think it's her. I think it's actually her internet playing up.
Is he on? Let's do this here again, and let's do that, and let's open it up again. I think it could be something on Blab over here, so that's fine. But while we're waiting for Marcus to come back on again, so Marcus, give it a go again and see if you can come back on. But just in terms of, and Justin's sitting here and he's giving us some really good advice. So just in terms of photos, make sure that you are, and that was the question that I asked Justin. And the question that I asked is, if I buy a photo for a client to use on their blog, but then I use that photo on something that I do, is that legal or not? And like, what are your thoughts on that? Because the photo's been bought, right? So all the watermarks and everything are off it. But what are the legal implications of that? Because I know people that do that.
Right, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, well, I know people that will buy one photo and they'll use it on a few blogs for a few clients, right? Okay, so Justin is saying for him and for his team, the client bought it. So even though you bought it for the client, Justin, you're saying the client bought it, so we let them have it as their own.
That's what my assumption would be.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, so it's part of their fee. So it's part of their fee. Once you buy it, it's yours.
Yes. Yeah.
For the most part. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So once you buy it, it's yours.
Well, like I was saying, when I was at the concerts and everything and I was streaming it, I felt, you know, a part of me was like, hey, this is really cool. And then the other part of me was, oh, I think I'm kind of like breaking the law here. You know, even though I wasn't making any money off of it, I wasn't selling it. I just call myself, you know, allowing people who could not be there to see the concert in little snippets.
Yeah, okay. So just in a sense, like you paying me to build your website, I would not take that website and just change your name and your image.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting, Justin, because there are web designers out there that actually do that. They copy the whole website and they do change things out of it. So it is interesting.
Can you hear?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yes.
Okay. Marcus, do you want to try and jump on now and see if we can hear you as well?
I got an answer on Twitter as well for something.
Oh, did you?
It said, I will add that YouTube videos have been removed because of infringement claims on background music.
Okay. So there you go. Sherry?
Yeah.
Someone named Richard Anderson. He is Rick's Desk on Twitter.
And what did he say again? What did he say again?
He said, YouTube videos have been removed because of copyright infringement claims on background music. But that's on YouTube.
The very first time I made a YouTube video, I was playing a CD that I bought in the background. And about 3 days later, I got an email from YouTube asking me, did I have a right to that music? And actually I did, because it was my friend. He gave me a CD of his and I asked him if I could use this on my YouTube. And he said, yes. And you know, at that time, I didn't know why I asked him that. I did not know that I did. But I guess part of me was like, well, I'm going to take your music and I want to put it on my YouTube channel. Is that okay? I got his permission, but I wasn't really thinking of it from a legal standpoint. All I said is, do I have your permission to use your music on the back of my video? Nice. And he said, yes. So I wrote back to YouTube and I told them, yes, I got permission to use this music to embed it into my video. And then they didn't take it down. They accepted that.
I have a really crazy story to tell you about this.
Cool.
And I have ADHD, so I totally interrupt. So I'm sorry.
Oh no, not a problem.
I have the website The Dirty. Have you heard about that website?
Mm-hmm.
So every city has a website called The Dirty, and it's where anonymous users can upload pictures and comment under the picture, and it's usually men and girls, like young girls and guys, talking about how big of a slut this girl is, how big of a jerk this person is. And long story short, my husband passed away 7 years ago, and it's a lot to say in one sentence, but it's fine. But someone posted a picture of him on this place, and they said I had no right to take it off. But because I worked for an IP firm, I sent them a letter that said, you have to take it off. Mm-hmm. But if you Google The Dirty website and copyright, you'll see that thousands of pictures are uploaded every day for every city, and people are slandered like big time. Like they're like, someone called my husband a rapist, and mentioned our children's names in the comments section, saying that, oh, I hope his son doesn't end up to be like this, and all like,
wow.
And I have Google alerts set up, so you know, I saw
so you
it.
Get it right.
And they have really high SEO because they got like thousands of links and all these things. So it was the first result that came up, and there was no police, like there was nothing, and it was like 5 years after it happened and everything, after he passed away. But I got it taken down, but I think I only got it taken down because of how much I knew about it. But if you look it up, you'll see, I know some of my girlfriends that dated just jerks who didn't like them, and then they posted pictures and it's for every single city in North America. If you type the dirty Los Angeles, the dirty Vancouver, the dirty wherever, people post it.
How do sites like that stay up? I mean, how do sites like that actually stay up? That's crazy.
On like Dr. Phil, like the owner guy, and you can tell like he was probably just dated and like he's mad or something. But
yeah,
I it's total infringement. But this guy gets away with it all the time, and I would love a lawyer to answer that question.
Well, what Justin is saying is they make a lot of money off the ad space, like
because they get millions of hits.
Yeah, but it would be really, really cool for a lawyer to answer that, because you're right. I mean, I don't think that's just copyright. That's violating.
That I owned. It was a professional photo that actually the photographer owned, but it was our photo.
It was yours, yeah.
And that was the reason I said three things. I'm like, first of all, he's dead. Second of all, we have children that will Google this someday and see this.
Right.
And third of all, this was never proven in court. This is never, why is this person coming forward on the dirty? Like maybe he did, I don't know, but why are you coming and saying this? You know?
Yeah, and it's like a public forum, like everybody can see it, everybody can.
Names.
I know.
First and last names. And so if you Googled their first and last names, they came up saying, my father's a rapist.
Yeah.
Wow. 6 and 8 years old. Right.
That's so sad.
That.
So did you have that shut down, Sam? Like, is that was been removed? Shut down.
Right. I'm crazy though. Like, I'll go ballistic. Like, if something happens, like U-Haul screwed me over the other day, and I totally jacked their marketing online. You see it. Funny. If you Google U-Haul famous on a hashtag, all you'll see is me yelling at them the whole time.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
They hate me with a passion. But that's a whole other story. But I wrote to the guy, the owner, and I just laid into him. And I said, first of all, ethically, that's wrong. Second of all, it's anonymous posters. They don't have to say who they are. So they can anonymously say who this person is. And it was never brought to court. Like, I know some people don't tell police or whatever it is, but like, even if it did happen, I wasn't saying like maybe it did, but why wait 4 years and then
for something to happen? Exactly.
Well, we were married. Like, he's not the type of guy. Like, I could go into so many things, but legally speaking, it was slander to him. Right?
Hey Sam, I'm gonna bring you back out again, because Justin's telling me here that you're known for taking over things, like you're known for taking control.
So much.
No, that's cool, and that was such a beautiful story. Thanks for sharing, because we didn't know about that. I didn't know about that personally, but I do want to bring you back to the music thing, and I want to say what Justin actually said here. So Justin said here, YouTube is smart enough to know that background music playing is Taylor Swift. And he said not that he plays her, but if you bought it for if you bought it for personal use, YouTube says that you could be making money off your YouTube video, so you owe Taylor money. So that's kind of it. Right. Moving on. Now, listen, guys, I think we have done absolutely phenomenal. It has been so great sitting here and having this conversation with you and blabbing and hearing all these amazing stories. Sherry, thank you so much for jumping on and giving us those examples. They have been absolutely amazing.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Sam's just disappeared again. And Sherry, I'm going to give you some hands up. You've been really, really awesome here.
Yay! Thank you.
So amazing. Thank you.
Till next time. This is. I took good notes. I've got a lot of good notes here.
And we can all go write some really great blogs out of this, which is really, really cool.
Yes. Thank you for your insight, Samantha. Appreciate it.
Hey, listen, Justin's just said to me, he wasn't saying that you take control of situations. you were saying. He was talking about Paul
all the time.
that did you wrong, and you took control of the situation, and you should have.
Bye, bye, guys.
Amazing. Bye. See you, Sherry. Thank you. See you guys. Thank you everyone for being on this blab. So happy to have had you here. Sam, your sound is gone again.
Oh, is it gone?
Can't hear you again. It must be blab. It must be the interface with blab. So listen, thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. It was so exciting to have you. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Justin's saying he can hear you, so I don't know why I can't hear you. But thank you very much, everyone, for being on. I really appreciate it. Justin, thank you so much for all your answers on here. Really, really appreciate that. You were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I loved it too. See you guys. Thank you. Bye. Bye.